What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam, hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys have been doing fantastic. You guys know what time it is, man. Time for another live 2023 fantasy football mock draft with you guys, with The Catch fam. We have got a multitude of things to go over today as free agency for the NFL began yesterday, and I have been off of streaming for the past week. I was sick and then I was out of town for my birthday, but I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. So you know what to do, man. Hit that like button on the way in, hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you are new to the channel, we mock draft several times a week, as well as dynasty mock drafts and underdog best ball drafts throughout the week. And hit that notification bell so you guys know when we are live streaming, and most importantly, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how everyone is doing. All right, so we're not going to waste any time. You guys are all here, so let's go ahead and set the draft order. Boom. And we're going to kick this thing off right at 11 p.m. Eastern time. So, yeah, we said on the our Discord that we're kicking off right at 11, so we should be good to go. As soon as we get this kicked off, we're going to start talking about free agency, all the different moves that went on. I mean, just an absolutely, we have a ton to talk about. So let's get to it tonight. All right. Taylor, what's going on? Hello, hello. Godfather, what's going on, man? Hello, hello. Spencer's in the building. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Emil, what's going on? How we doing? Hello, hello. Mecca to go. What's going on? Hello, hello. Yeah, make sure you guys are on Discord, guys. We mock draft several times a week, so if you guys were not able to get in tonight, we will have several opportunities throughout the off season. I mean, there are nights where it's tougher to get these filled than other nights, but yeah, just keep trying. The links are always posted on Discord, and I'm happy to get you guys in these, but I apologize if you guys were not able to get in tonight. All right, so we are kicking off. Let's go, let's go. Nick, what's up, dude? Hello, hello. Smokey the Cat's in the building. What's going on, man? All right, let me make this first draft pick. Then I really do want to dive right into the free agency topics. Of course, let me know in the chat what was the most surprising move, or maybe the move that you're most excited about, or just whatever move you want to talk about when it comes to free agency. I'm going to go Eckler here, which is probably a topic that it's a perfect way just to roll right into the free agency madness, right? So Austin Eckler not able to come to agreement with the Chargers on a contract extension, is now seeking a trade. So obviously there are huge fantasy implications from a potential trade with Austin Eckler, right? But in my opinion, right, this is very similar to what we saw with Christian McCaffrey. Like, it does not necessarily matter where Austin Eckler plays, in my opinion. Like, of course, the coaching staff, offensive scheme, all that stuff does matter to a degree, as well as, depth at the running back position on that particular team. But at the end of the day, man, like, Eckler is Eckler, so I really think he'll be okay. But I know there is some concern. You might see Eckler kind of drift back a little bit overall in, ADP, but I really personally am not concerned about Austin Eckler. But like I said, you could see him end up on a team where maybe there's some depth at running back, or it's not the best offensive scheme, but at the end of the day, like, you just got to look back at what Eckler did this past season, and not even just this past season, right? 2021 as well. This was the heartbeat of the Chargers offense. Like, I mean, there were times where he was just completely non-existent on the ground, but he just, like, every time Herbert dropped back, he was dumping off to Eckler. I mean, he got 16 targets in week 6, 12 targets in week 7, 12 in week 10, 15 in week 12, right? I mean, just an extremely talented running back, and has huge upside in fantasy, right? Especially in PPR format. So, like, there's a topic right there. Let me know if you guys are concerned about Austin Eckler in terms of a trade. I'm not concerned whatsoever. I think he's going to be just fine. All right, so we haven't even talked about the Bears trade. Like, I was out of town when all that happened, right? So I was driving, like, when it happened, literally. So yeah, the Bears are trading, or have traded the #1 overall pick to the Panthers In turn, they got the number 9 pick, the number 61 pick, a first round in 2024, a second round in 2025, and wide receiver DJ Moore. So for those of you guys who mock drafted with me off air on Friday, we did talk about this topic a little bit in the sleeper chat, and I'm completely okay with DJ Moore going to the Bears. I am not concerned. I don't think he takes a major step forward necessarily. I don't think he's taking a step back at all, though. I know there's some concern out there, like Justin Fields, not really the best passer in some people's eyes, or the Bears in general just do not throw the football a ton. I'm not worried about it. I actually like DJ Moore on the Bears more than I like him on the Panthers with a rookie quarterback. In my eyes, from a fantasy perspective, he does move up just a notch in ADP. I really, really like the move for the Bears. Speaking of the Bears, we're going to go ahead and skip ahead a little bit in the timeline. David Montgomery, within the last, hour and a half, just announced that the Lions have signed him to a 3-year deal. I hate this move. Don't get me wrong. It's a great move for the Lions. It really is. It's a great move for the Lions. Okay, obviously they're not going to be pursuing Jamal Williams, who is obviously older than David Montgomery, and they get Montgomery, from what I've heard, at a similar price, right? So Jamal Williams was asking. I don't blame him. Jamal Williams had a career year, right? And listen, I would have actually liked to see the Lions keep Jamal Williams. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and this was a good business decision. But I do think that Jamal Williams does a multitude of valuable things for that team, and in terms of locker room presence, leadership, all that stuff. But hey, it is what it is, right? So going back to why I don't like this, because realistically, it's a great move for the Lions. But from a pure fantasy perspective, I hate this move, right? I mean, how could you like this move, right? You already have, the carousel running backs in Detroit this past season, right? A lot of upside with DeAndre Swift being a first-round pick. I love Swift. You guys know I love DeAndre Swift when he's healthy, right? But at the end of the day, like, you just did not get the turnout from DeAndre Swift. Jamal Williams was the value pick from a fantasy perspective this past year for the Lions, and at the end of the day, it hasn't gotten any better, because now you've got Montgomery, who's probably going to be filling in a more similar role to Jamal Williams, but Swift, it does feel like is taking a huge hit in ADP now. Like, I would still draft Swift at the right price, but I just don't like the outlook for him at the end of the day. So, listen, happy for Monty, a good deal for him, a great deal for the Lions, happy for the Lions at the end of the day. But from a fantasy football perspective, this could have literally not been worse. So let me know what you guys think in the chat about Monty going to the Lions and Jamal Williams no longer going to be a Lion. Where would you guys like to see him land? All right, the Raiders signed Jimmy G. I like this move. I still don't think it'd be a bad move for them to go out and draft a quarterback potentially. But if they don't, if their quarterback that they want is not in this draft, I think it's okay. They've got Jimmy G for 3 years, right? So they have that bridge quarterback, veteran quarterback, to kind of lead that locker room for now, right? I do think this is just fine for Devontae Adams, okay? Obviously, another signing for the Raiders was Jacoby Myers. I like that move. I've told you guys all kind of offseason that I like Jacoby Myers. I don't think he's, going to step in and be an wide receiver 1. But at the end of the day, I just like him. I don't think that by any means he's going to be extremely fantasy relevant, but I do think he can be a productive wide receiver for whatever team he went to. I think he will be productive for the Raiders. All right, let me make this draft pick very quickly. Okay, I'm on auto pick. It said I had 10 seconds. I know what's going on because the timer says it's starting at 40. We should only have 30 seconds. So make sure you guys are paying attention, because it says you have 40 seconds. In reality, you probably only have 30. So I got Debo. I mean, I'm good with it. It is what it is. Where was I? Jacoby Myers, a good football move for the Raiders. I don't know how much of a fantasy impact he's going to have right away, but I do really like him as a wide receiver 2 or 3. Obviously, Hunter Renfrow still on this team. Another topic to touch on here, right? Darren Waller is going to the Giants. We really like Daniel Bellinger in dynasty formats. We really like Daniel Bellinger in best ball drafts. His stock is obviously going down a little bit, but I will make a note that Darren Waller is a player that I stay away from in fantasy because of his injury history. So keep an eye on Bellinger, the best ball formats, especially probably dynasty as well. But obviously a huge move for the Giants. That offense is looking okay. I believe in Randall Robinson and Isaiah Hodgins. They re-signed Sterling Shepard to a friendly deal. They've got Waller, they got Bellinger, Barkley's on the tag right now. It's a good-looking offense at the moment. So, Mike White is going to the Dolphins. Not a whole lot there, right? The Chiefs did sign Jawan Taylor. I will go over, like from a fantasy perspective, I will still go over offensive line signings because it does matter. It's a good move for the Chiefs, but man, they paid a hefty price, right? Let's see here. Bears did sign Tremaine Edmonds to a huge deal because they had the money to do so. Jesse Bates went to the Falcons. All right. Sorry, trying to get up here to more fantasy relevant stuff. The Niners got a new backup in Sammy Darnold. Let's see. Jameis Winston staying with the Saints for another year. I like Jameis there. But all right, we have got interesting things to talk about. Okay, so the Jets, I think are 100%. You guys know this. I think they are 100% signing Aaron Rodgers. Like I said this last week, I was like, I don't think it's an epitome or anything. I think several people believe this, right? But the interesting news today, right, was that it came out that the Jets were looking to sign Allen Lazard, and then he kind of had some reports like, this is probably linked to Aaron Rodgers, and he had reports saying like, no, they were going to sign him no matter what. Then he had a report come out saying Aaron Rodgers gave the Jets a wish list. These are the players that he wants them to sign. Allen Lazard, who did get signed today to a 4-year contract. If not, it was 3-year. I don't remember off the top of my head. Randall Cobb, Mercedes Lewis, and Odell Beckham. So obviously, they can probably bring in most of those players on a pretty friendly deal outside of Odell. It's definitely interesting. I'm going to DJ. Oh, I forgot that I got Debo. I thought I had 2 running backs because but that's okay. I'm fine with DJ Moore there. Nonetheless, yeah. Lots of interesting things going on there. Listen, obviously, Pat McAfee announced today that Aaron Rodgers will be on the show tomorrow at 1 p.m. He's usually on Tuesdays. I checked pretty early today, and McAfee had like 70,000 people. Don't get me wrong, he always has a crazy amount of people, but like it was a super high amount of people waiting to see if Aaron Rodgers was going to come on today. He did not. And Pat McAfee came out and said he will be on tomorrow. I would really not be surprised if he does want to announce this through the Pat McAfee show. We're going to get some sort of update, whether it's a cryptic update from Aaron Rodgers or something concrete tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, we'll see what the Jets do. It's definitely interesting that they're kind of signing some of these players before, Rodgers is officially on this team. So there's a lot to kind of break down there. But at the end of the day, I told you guys, right, all offseason, I like Allen Lazard a lot. Loved him last year in fantasy, right? Until Watson kind of came on and kind of ruined some of the red zone targets and everything. But I still overall really liked Lazard last season. And I told you guys, as long as he goes to a team with a good quarterback, I thought he might go to the Bears, right? I'm going to continue to like him. I love this move if Aaron Rodgers on the Jets, okay? Raheem Mostert and Jeff Wilson both re-signed with the Dolphins. So the Dolphins obviously made some splashes, right? The Jalen Ramsey trade. There's a lot of speculation that the Dolphins were going after Derrick Henry, after Austin Eckler, after Dalvin Cook. They could still be going after those running backs, but they re-signed 2 veteran running backs today, which I thought was very interesting. Don't get me wrong. If Eckler goes there, he's the RB1. If Henry goes there, he's the RB1. But it's definitely a very interesting situation. All right, I'll go Dameon Pierce here. Why not? So yeah, you got that. The Saints are keeping Michael Thomas on a 1-year deal. So Derek Carr will be throwing to Thomas as long as he is healthy. He might not be healthy. The Eagles agreed to terms with running back Rashad Penny. And from everything I have read, Miles Sanders will not be re-signing with the Eagles. So, hate that for Miles Sanders. But we kind of knew that was coming anyways, right? You guys know that I've been really big on Kenneth Gainwell so far in the offseason. I still really like Kenneth Gainwell. Really, really like him, especially with these moves. But I'm not going to discredit Rashad Penny. He's averaged like 6 yards per carry like in the last 2 seasons. But the problem is he going to be healthy? A super friendly deal for the Eagles. Boston Scott's going to stay with the Eagles as well. So their backfield, in my mind, is probably set. I know there's speculation that they could go after a rookie, that they could even go after a rookie like Bijan Robinson. But at the end of the day, man, I don't know. Especially because they've already had to make some deals and like they're losing a lot of players. I think they could be set with this running back room, and I think it's going to be Kenneth Gainwell as the RB1. Colts traded Stephon Gilmore to the Cowboys. That's huge for the Cowboys defense, who had a phenomenal season in fantasy last year. And they re-signed Van Der Esch as well, so they're in a good place at the moment. Defensively, that is. So I feel like I missed things. I feel like that was not everything I wanted to go out over. But as things come up tonight, we will go over them. That was a long intro. So let's see. The chat's already going crazy, so I'll hop into the chat, try and catch back up here and say what's up to everyone and kind of get some of your guys' thoughts and opinions. By the way, I'm in the middle of redoing kind of my setup, so if anything shows up funny, let me know. But yeah. All right. Let's see. Herbert is a better fantasy option without Eckler. That's actually quite an interesting take, Smokey, but not the worst take. Because the temptation just to consistently check down is probably there, right? And it probably will force more deep balls out of Herbert if Eckler leaves. There's still, it's not for sure that Eckler's gone, right? Taylor Gang, how do we feel about Rashad Penny on the Eagles? So we just kind of touched on that, right? Like I like the move a lot for the Eagles, a very friendly deal. Got to keep Penny healthy. But overall, yeah, I do think that it is a good move. I think that Kenneth Gainwell is the running back to kind of, keep a close eye on in terms of fantasy. Can Darren Waller be had in the 4th round? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we're drafting right now. Everyone in here very experienced, right? We're in the 6th round, and Waller's still not off the board. Didn't want to make a note on tonight's draft. Derrick Henry falls all the way to 2.9. I thought that was pretty interesting to see that kind of ADP switch up there. All right, let's see here. Where do I want to go? Go pop, lock, and drop. It might be a little early, but I'm good with it. Spence says my team's going to be trash. You'll be fine, man. What are you talking about? I don't know why you got Mixon, but you'll be all right. Albert says Khalil Herbert to the moon. That is a good point that we didn't talk about when going over Herbert. When going over Monty. I like Herbert as much as the next guy, but I would not be surprised if the Bears draft a running back even in the 1st round, right? Because they have a late first rounder, right? I will not be surprised. Really won't be. Herbert, not a great pass or blocker in general. I won't be surprised if they bring someone else in, right? So they already brought in Homer today, right? From the Seahawks, is announced pretty shortly after the Montgomery signing was announced. So Travis Homer on a 2-year deal. So I don't know if that's really going to amount to anything, but that is something that happened. I like Herbert. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a great PPR back. But I don't know if they're going to solely rely on Khalil Herbert. Andrea, hello. How are you doing? It's great to see you. Brian, Monty is a perfect guy to pair with Swift. I 1000% agree. I think it is a great football move. It was a great signing. I just absolutely hate it from a pure fantasy perspective. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I think it's a great move, football wise. I I can't talk. Wholeheartedly agree with you there, but I hate it from a fantasy perspective. But at the end of the day, right? Maybe I'm being too harsh because Jamal Williams and Swift, I mean, operated pretty well last season. I own them in the Catch Fam auction league, both of them, and it was pretty much a headache. Some weeks I would just literally flex both of them and wish, for the best. So I think it could be another situation like that. We'll see what happens. Would you guys sell high on Khalil Herbert in Dynasty? I mean, I think when it comes to Dynasty, anytime you're able to sell high on a running back who's already, 2-ish years in, there's nothing wrong with it, man. The running back position just, flip-flops so quickly that I really don't have a problem with it. Thomas, what's going on? Hello. Spence, Rodgers to the Jets. Just make it quick. So far, it hasn't been. Spence and any other Packers fans out there, how are you guys feeling about everything? Let me know. When Waller gets the first 8-yard slant route, I'm going crazy. I love it, Brian. Yeah, that's right. 4 years, $44 million. Thank you, Albert. Can't wait until Rodgers announces his retirement on McAfee tomorrow. He might. Brian says Lazard deal was gross for a team with 2 receivers. Come on now. Okay, so I do think this is actually a good point. We talked about the wish list, so to speak, from Aaron Rodgers. When you look at the Jets' receiving room right now, obviously Garrett Wilson's going to be the wide receiver 1. But you also have Elijah Moore there, who I think that Aaron Rodgers could easily elevate. I love the signing of Allen Lazard either way. Yes, it's a pretty lucrative deal for Allen Lazard, but I do think, like, Randall Cobb as a wide receiver 4 is probably just fine, But I don't think you really need to push it past that. Like, if you also bring in OBJ, Randall Cobb, who, don't get me wrong, isn't going to get a ton of work anyways. I just don't know how necessary he is, right? Like, when we look at this team overall, right, because Corey Davis is going to be gone, I think. If they keep Corey Davis, then things are definitely very, very interesting, right? But, yeah, I really do believe that Aaron Rodgers could already elevate Elijah Moore as a wide receiver. He had a great rookie season and just kind of disappeared this last year, right? Albert makes a point. I don't think the Jets like Elijah Moore. That's probably, we saw some of that this season. That could be part of it too. But, and you could even see, we keep hearing rumors about trade packages. You could see Elijah Moore, shipped off as well. So that's something to keep an eye on. But yeah, I think you make a pretty fair point right there. All right, let me try and make, we're doing it. We're doing it. Wow, they moved up Allen Lazard's ADP. I think Brian Robinson's a great value there at 8.9. But yeah, I don't think it's an unfair take at all, Brian. Let's see. Gilmore, good signing for Cowboys, but they still have a Dak problem. That's fair. Thomas, I've always liked Lazard, targeted in past years in drafts. Yep, love him. Oh, hold on, I gotta make myself tinier. Mixon's gonna re-sign, I think. Pirine is gone. So that's one that we did not touch on, right? Samaje Pirine going to the Broncos. From a pure fantasy perspective, I don't think this is good for Samaje Pirine's outlook. I hate the Broncos backfield from a fantasy perspective. But we'll see. I mean, he'll probably get some touches, right? You're going to see whatever running backs are on that team get touches. And I do think he could fill in nicely while Javonte Williams misses some time. So, but ultimately, probably going to be more of a headache than anything. Brian, he's gone to the best, a.k.a. the Broncos. Yeah, 100% agree. Spence, A.J. Dillon, really? Yeah, I love my boy, A.J. Unless, were you just mad you wanted him? All right, I'm going to take my tight end off the board here before they all disappear. So I'll take commit happily. Made for TV, what's going on? Hello. What's going on, man? A lot of free agency action. Yep. I mean, we're almost through with the draft. I feel like we barely even touched on anything. Where will Miles Sanders go? we'll see. We'll see. It's kind of interesting because, like, I don't personally feel like there are a ton of teams that really need a running back right now. You know what I mean? But I feel like there are so many teams that could go out and sign a player like Miles Sanders and benefit from it right away. Where I think he'll go, I have no idea. I mean, let's say Austin Eckler gets traded. Let's say Derrick Henry gets traded. Like, you're going to have two teams who need a starting running back right away in the Chargers and Titans. So that could be interesting, right? The Vikings could be a move. We haven't heard any buzz about Alexander Madison either. So Vikings would be interesting, but I feel like that was a pretty easy answer. Like I said, I could literally see him going anywhere. I think he's a player who can step in and give you RB1 caliber play. I also think he could step in very nicely in a committee role, similar to what he did with the Eagles for a majority of his career. And even this past year was still, in my opinion, for the most part, a committee back. He just, got the most of the touches, right? So be interesting. Chat, let me know, where do you guys think Miles Sanders potentially ends up? Too Shiesty, what's going on? How do you feel about Pete to the Steelers? Why am I blanking on which Pete that is? Oh, Patrick Peterson, I'm sorry. It's a fine move. They got him on a pretty friendly deal. If I'm Patrick Peterson, I probably would have wanted to go to a team that's maybe more of a contender. But yeah, I mean, the Steelers always find a way to find good veteran players, good locker room players on the defense. So I think it's a very Steelers signing. I think it's a good move ultimately. He'll probably finish his career there, right? So I like it. Like I said, a good friendly deal for them. So I think they'll be all right with the move. All right. Sorry, I'm going to try and throw together a queue. I have barely been paying attention to the draft tonight. Talking about all the updates with you guys. So, gosh, like I said, the draft's almost over. We only got, oh gosh, guys, I didn't put a kicker or defense in here, so no kicker or defense tonight. But that's okay. I mean, we're just talking and mocking. So, sorry about that, guys. Maybe, I'm on the clock. Here, I'll do it this way. We'll add 2 more rounds. I gotta make a move. I'm gonna go Kyler here because I don't have a quarterback. All right, let's see. Andrew, I think Corey Davis is gone. That's what I thought as well. Yeah, I think he's either gonna be cut or is he at the end of his contract? If not, I think they're probably gonna move on from him. Imagine if the Bengals cut Joe Mixon and draft Bijan Robinson. I mean, I could see that scenario happening, Albert, 100%. Could absolutely see that happening. Brian, I think Aaron Jones is an excellent value at his ADP. Packers will lean on him and Dylan. Yeah. I mean, where Aaron Jones has been going in drafts right now, I think is kind of absurd. I think Dalvin Cook is kind of in a similar, place as well. Right. I mean, these were guys who were both going in the first round last year and are just taking a massive hit on ADP. Cook, I can get the hesitancy. He went at 3.9 tonight. Jones goes way further back at 5.9. Either way, I mean, like I said, both guys who were going in the first round last year and players who are obviously veterans, but I think can contribute just as well as anyone. I still love Aaron Jones. 100% agree with you, man. I need another quarterback. But I don't know if I want to draft one. Take a receiver. Give me Zay Jones. So I did add 2 more rounds, since that's usually how many rounds we have with kicker and defense involved. Smokey, let's put some respect on the Steelers' name. My bad, man. Yeah, so the Steelers are just young. That's a nice way of putting it, right? They're just young right now, Smokey. So I'm sorry. Another great value, Tyler Lockett, 15 points per game last year. Yeah, Tyler Lockett, someone I have been all over so far this offseason. So took him at 6.8, a little bit ahead of ADP. I'll take Lockett all day long. Your wide receiver 13 last year in fantasy. I'll take him all day freaking long. 100% agree. Shane, what's going on, man? What up, what up? Appreciate you stopping in. What's going on, man? Just so you guys know, I'm going to try and run what am I saying? Trying. I will be running a Dynasty mock tomorrow as well. So I'm going to be trying my hardest just to be alternating Dynasty and redraft mocks and sprinkling in some Underdog drafts as well. I know we were off for a couple days, so I really want to try and ramp up the streams. Fantasy Dog, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Fields in the 6. Yeah, so Fields a very interesting ADP right now. He's kind of been all over the place, right? I mean, we've seen Fields go at the end of the 3rd, mid-4th, beginning of the 5th, all the way to the middle of the 6th. I don't think we've seen him go too much further past that, but that kind of tier right there, Fields, Herbert, T-Law, even Lamar Jackson, like, you know, you kind of have your top 4 guys are going to go. Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Burrow. They're going to go. But after they go, it's kind of interesting to see when that next tier does go. Because it's all over the place, right? And it kind of depends. Like, I do feel like similar to how we saw it go down tonight. Once that run starts, it starts, right? So you kind of have a beginning tier to your draft to the quarterback position at this point in the offseason, a mid-tier, and then you kind of have everyone else sprinkled in at the end. So Jared Goff and Daniel Jones are 2 other names, and even Tua time. Screw you, Spencer. I was going to take Aaron Rodgers, who are just kind of going all over the place. Some people really, really believe in them. Some people don't necessarily. Oh, man. Wow, running backs are just absolutely decimated. Dawson Knox. Yeah, I wanted Rodgers there. I thought he would fall out. I thought I might get lucky and be able to land Tua at 11.5. Gosh, I mean, we got Box on the Jack and Taylor gang going double quarterback. So, bad move by me. I'll go double tight end tonight. Done at that position. Let me just roll through, throw together a little queue here so I can wrap up this draft. Oh, there's some good value out here still. Except at running back. Oh, and there's some good rookie running backs available, don't get me wrong. But outside of that, running back is wrapped up. All right, so I've got, 3 more bench spots? Yep. I like my squad a lot outside of the quarterback position, though. And 4 running backs. I didn't mean to pick Debo. Got the auto pick, but it's okay. Outside of that, love the receiving room. You know, I'm not completely upset against Debo. I do like Chris Olave more. That's really about the only receiver, though, that went after that I would probably take over Debo. Mike Williams and Judy are interesting. So I have heard some rumors that Judy... So Cortland Sutton and Judy are on the trade block, which is interesting to me. I'll just take Geno. I'm not going to be too upset with Geno and Kyler Murray, to be honest. Thomas, do you think Fields will drop to 2nd round in Dynasty Superflex? No. Unfortunately, not. No. He'll still go in the 1st, for sure. The quarterbacks you'll probably see at the 1.12 spot to the 2.1 spot, if that's what you're asking. There's a small possibility that Lamar Jackson falls out to that spot. I have done mock drafts where he does. Dak Prescott, Deshaun Watson, Danny Dimes, Tua time, Kyler Murray will probably be available. That's probably it. You're not going to see Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Burrow, Fields, Herbert, T-Law. That's 7 You might see C.J. Stroud, Richardson, or Young. You might not. You know, like I said, you might see Lamar Jackson potentially. What I would be trying to do is taking Bryce Young, Richardson, Stroud. Sorry, I didn't say Stroud earlier, but he should be in that same conversation. I'd probably go for one of those guys. And whoever the best veteran available is in your eyes, whether it's Deshaun Watson, whether it's Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson. If Jackson's available, I'm probably taking him, even with the situation. But just keep in mind, there are rumors that Jackson may sit out the year. Kyler Murray, of course, I love Kyler, but the only issue with going after Kyler, as I've seen in a lot of dynasty mocks, is that you probably need to come out of your draft with like 4 quarterbacks. So just keep that in mind. Hold on, guys. Fix my screen there. There we go. So yeah, there's a little wrap up. If that was your question. Cortland Sutton at $14 million per year is a little rich for me. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if the Broncos ship any of their. I also saw that KJ Hamler is on the trade block. What do you think about Ken Walker with Penny signing elsewhere? I mean, I love Kenneth Walker, regardless if Penny was signing elsewhere or not. Still very, very high on Kenneth Walker. So, to me, it didn't matter if Penny was there or not. I still liked Penny as a late round pick if he stayed with Seattle. But now that he's, Penny's out of the picture, yeah. I mean, Walker to the moon, right? Where'd Walker go tonight at 2.11? I mean, we've literally seen Walker go anywhere from 1.5 to the beginning of the third. I will say Thomas, a loyal Seahawks fan, is the one he took him at 1.5. But nonetheless, I think Walker realistically will be gone by mid-second round, by the time we're actually drafting, close to the fantasy season and everything. All right, let me pick up Randall Robinson as we start to wrap up the mock draft. All right. Cats, the fact that there's almost 0 starting quarterbacks left is insane. Yeah, those extra rounds probably got to us. Fancy Dog, I appreciate you, bro. It's great to have you in the house tonight. Taylor says 1.12. Judge my DeAndre Swift pick. Shane, Penny is with the Eagles. What do you think? I love the move. I love it. I think it's a great deal for the Eagles. I still think Gainwell's the back to watch, though. Would it be crazy to go back-to-back running backs at number 12 in Dynasty Superflex? No. No, but, you're probably going to be chasing the quarterback position for a little bit of time, right? You could go Bijan and Barkley, right? Bijan and JT, Bijan and Kenneth Walker, right? And then in the coming rounds, hold on a sec, get a Jared Goff and a Russell Wilson, right? Then you're okay for now, but long term, it could hurt you, right? You're going to be chasing in your next rookie draft the following year. You're going to be going after a quarterback. You got to get some youth, right? You can still get some good youthful quarterbacks in late rounds and dynasty drafts, though, right? I do think Jordan Love could potentially move up, right? But you might end up drafting guys like Sam Howell, Desmond Ridder, just somebody to give you some sort of value and some youth as well. So Brock Purdy is a name to keep an eye on. Would I personally go double running back at 1.12? No. But can he do it? Yes. Godfather did it the other night in one of our mocks. So, yeah, he can do it. Just came to say I was right on DJ Moore. Hey, you called it, bro. You called it. I expect nothing less. J-Dubs. Shane, what do you think about Jacoby Myers and Pirine? I love the Jacoby Myers signing. I don't think it's going to be crazy in terms of its fantasy impact, but I think it's a really good signing for the Raiders. We'll have to see how the target share gets kind of split between Myers and Renfrow. Samaje Pirine, good signing for the Broncos, Shane, but don't love it from fantasy perspective. The Broncos are... let me see. Has Ben, was it Ben? Or no, it was Brian earlier in the chat said the Broncos are just an abyss. Smokey, if you're listening, you're deleting people's messages again by accident, I'm sure. Last time Smokey was deleting people's messages, it was like he was at the gym listening and just accidentally like blocking people. So just so you know, Thomas, we'll get you back. Have a great night, Andrea. All right, let me. Smokey, hold on. Let me see if I can fix it. We'll get you back in here, Thomas. Smokey, that's hilarious. All right. Let me get back to the top here and go over some teams. Appreciate you guys drafting tonight, man. Smokey, you're in trouble. If you do it, this is your second warning. If you do it one more time, you're not a mod anymore. I'm just joking. All right. It is kind of funny you've done that twice now, though. Okay, let me find the first person to ask me to look at their team. Box and the Jack. If I'm going to start there and move down. All right, we got Goff and Tua time. Love the quarterback room. Schultz at tight end. I'm good at that. Schultz still a free agent at the moment. See what happens there. But at 9.3, why not take him, right? C-Mac, Monty, Fournette, Foreman, Tucker, Spears. Good running back room. I do think you have some committee potential. Foreman, Fournette, Monty. Good rookies at the end there. Going to be leaning on C-Mac, but that's okay. Waddle, Metcalf, Godwin, Dotson, DPJ, Woods. I love the receiver room. I don't think Woods is going to have a big fantasy impact, even if he theoretically could be the wide receiver one on paper. But why not take him in the 14th round, right? Starting Goff and Schultz, C-Mac and Monty, Waddle, Metcalf, flexing Godwin, and Dotson. So, good team. How do you feel about it, man? Wow, it is super windy outside. You don't like this team, Box. I thought it was a pretty good team. Taylor Gang. Prescott and Cousins. T-Hawk and Higbee are good there. Chubb, Stevenson, Akers, Cook, Miller, Patterson. Good running back room. And I love Akers at 7.1. Although the Rams are starting to look more and more scary day by day in a bad way. JJ, Hopkins, McLaurin, Juju, Renfro. Good receiver room. Yeah. Starting Prescott and Hawkinson, Chubb and Stevenson, JJ and Hopkins, flexing McLaurin and Akers. I love this team. Yeah, great core team. How do you feel about it? Emil, Lamar at quarterback. Oof. Right now, if I'm drafting Lamar, I'm drafting a second quarterback. Even if it's, I don't know, even if it's Kenny Pickett or Jordan Love, I'm taking somebody else just in case, right? But by the time we're actually drafting everything, we'll know what's happening, right? Obviously, you're going to tight end with Kelsey, Henry, Etienne, Kamara, Robinson, Carter, Edwards. Good running back room. I think it's okay that you took Kamara. I don't have a problem with that. Because you got enough support around him, right? Receivers, we got Evans, Kirk, Davis, Myers, Cooks, Moore, Patrick. I will not lie to you. I was going to take Christian Kirk right here. But I think it's a great pick for you. Receivers look pretty good. A lot of late round receiver value. That's okay. Starting Lamar, hopefully. Starting Travis Kelsey, Henry and Etienne, Evans and Kirk. I'm going to say you're flexing Brian Robinson and Gabe Davis or Jacoby Myers. So that second flex you might to figure out if Kamara is around, you can flex him, right? Cooks, Carter, Elijah Moore, Patrick, and Edwards give you a lot of potential there at the end, though. I mean, some good value names there at the end, so. Pretty good draft. How do you feel about it, man? Taylor, 1.12. Josh Allen, Deshaun Watson, Mandrews. You're good there. AJ Brown and Amon-Ra St. Brown and Hollywood Brown. Let's go. Treylon Burks, Quentin Johnston. I like the receiver room. Dobbins, Swift, White, Purine, Johnson, and Warren. So running backs are a little bit sketchy, right? Because Baltimore is going to utilize more than one running back, and Dobbins has been hurt. Swift now has Monty behind him, and he's had injury history as well. I like the value of Rashad White at 7.12. Okay, I like him in that tier, of Tyler Algier and Isaiah Pacheco, Robinson, and Herbert. Like, I think that's great value. But I won't be surprised if the Bucs surprise some people and get some help at running back behind Rashad White with Fournette seemingly out the door. So I'll keep that in mind. But you can alternate running backs, right? And Dalton Kincaid's on this team as well. I missed him somehow. But starting Allen and Mandrews, Brown and St. Brown, Dobbins and Swift, or Dobbins and White. Flexing Hollywood Brown, then I'm going to take a shot in the dark, say you're flexing Quentin Johnston, your second flex. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good team. Running back's a little bit sketchy, though. How do you feel about it? Boss Man, what we do, my dude? What we do? Herbie and Anthony Richardson, I'm good at that. I think Richardson might be going to the Panthers. And sitting behind Andy Dalton. Kyle Pitts at tight end. Tyreek Hill, Jerry Jeudy, Pickens, Thomas Moore, and Doobie. Love the receiver room. Breece Hall, Tony Pollard. Love both of these guys. But I don't know. For some reason, them together with the looming injuries. Maybe a little queasy, but I love both these backs. No doubt. Algier, Jamal Williams, Pierre Strong, and Bigsby. I love you going after Strong consistently in the drafts, man. Starting Herbert and Pitts, Hall and Pollard, Hill and Jeudy, Pickens in your flex, Algier in your flex. Love the core team. Some good pieces on the bench there as well. Michael Thomas, Jamal Williams, and Rondell Moore, to name a few. How do you feel about it? Pretty good little squad there. Spence, what'd you do tonight, man? T-Law and Rogers right before I was going to take him. Taysom Hill, and we got Washington. How do you feel about the tight end room? A true late round tight end room. I may have gone Dolchich or Nkonkwo, but I'm not going to knock it too much here. Higgins, Pittman, Ayuk, Bateman, Jordan Addison, Peckham. All things considered, a good receiver value for sure, man. Yeah, good little squad. Starting T-Law, starting Hill, right? Barkley and Mixon, probably. Higgins and Pittman, and then flexing Ayuk and Sanders or Herbert or Bateman or Addison or Beckham or even Gibson. Yeah, I love the bench, dude. I think he did a great job with the bench. Good depth on this team. I'm not completely against going double quarterback, even if you don't need to. Like, personally, if I draft Trevor Lawrence, like, I'm not drafting another quarterback. But I may have gone with a different tight end. But if you like Hill and Washington, I think it's okay. How do you feel about it, man? J-Dubs, by the way, thank you for gifting a couple memberships. Very kind of you, bro. Shout out to Ben for getting a membership for a month. And speaking of J-Dubs, let's take a look at the squad. Danny Dimes, Trey Lance, Kenny Pickett. Not much I can knock there. Freiermuth and Nkonkwo, good tight end room. Walker, Gibbs, Charbonnet. Ooh, little rookie action. Madison, Chuba. Interesting running back room. How do you feel about it? Kind of dynasty-esque. Jamar Chase, Devonta Smith, Christian Watson, Calvin Ridley, Isaiah Hodgins. Nice little receiver room. All things considered, good receiver value. Starting Danny Dimes. Starting Freiermuth. Starting Chase and Devonta. Kenneth Walker. And I'm going to say Charbonnet. Flexing Watson and Ridley. And some good pieces on the bench, right? Gibbs, Madison, Hodgins, Chuba. Depth at quarterback, depth at tight end. A good team overall, man. How do you feel about it? All right, let me try and catch back up here. Thomas, Smokey accidentally blocked you from his pocket at the gym. Smokey, I love it. You're hilarious. Thomas, I'm sorry that happened. But it is kind of funny because Smokey's accidentally done that before. JB. What we do tonight, man? Mahomes and Carr, Goddard and Dolchich. Good at both quarterback and tight end. Cook, Jones, Pacheco, Gainwell, Harris, Robinson. Great running back value throughout this draft. Love Gainwell at 10.4. Love Pacheco at 7.9. Love Jones at 5.9. I still think Cook is fine at 3.9 too. Harrison Robinson, kind of up in the air right now, but they're fine where you drafted them. We added those extra rounds, so they're good picks there. Dolchich, great pick at 15.9. CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, Sutton, Tony, Mooney. Pretty good receiver room. Some good receiver value, actually. Sutton, Tony, and Mooney are, good value where you got them. Starting Mahomes, starting Goddard, CD and Cooper, Cook and Jones, flexing whoever you want. I mean, seriously. Pacheco, Sutton, Tony, Gainwell, Mooney. Like, you've got options in the flex. So, I like this team. How do you feel about it, bro? J-Dubs, I'm always locked in. I know you are, bro. Mayday, what's going on? Good to see you, bro. Appreciate you stopping by. What up, what up? Dobbins getting 15-plus carries this year. Bucket, but I agree running back is sketch. I don't dislike Dobbins. I do think he's pretty good value, 5.12. I just never trust a Ravens running back, personally. J-Dubs gifted another membership. Thank you, bro. Shout out to Mayday for getting a month-long membership. Let's go. Nick, I'm glad you got in tonight, bro. All right, we got Burrow and Stroud at quarterback. I'm good at that. Kittle and Waller. I'm good there. Really good tight end room. Do you guys think Waller moves up in fantasy value or moves down? Or stays the same? I think he stays the same. My only hesitation was with Waller's injury history. Cup, Adams, Flowers, Robinson, Boyd, and Booty. I mean, good receiver value throughout this draft, man. Harris, Javonte, Mitchell, Hunt, CH. Pretty good running back room and good value at the end of this draft. Hunt's still not on the team, right? Starting Burrow, Kittle, starting Cup, and Adams. Ooh, that's scary. Cup and Adams, terrifying. Harris, and you want to start Javonte, but he might not be ready. Might be throwing in Mitchell, Hunt, or Edwards. So running back 2 is a little bit sketchy right now. So yeah, then you're flexing. You kind of have a lot of options at flex. You got 2 rookie receivers. Flowers might be a starter right away. Robinson and Boyd, and you might be able to throw in a CH or Hunt depending on where they end up. But you're probably putting Mitchell in the RB2 spot and hoping he gets enough touches behind C-Mac, right? So RB2, a little bit sketch. Don't love the depth, but you have some options here. So, trades, waiver wire, you can figure it out for sure. Cats, Fields at quarterback, Love at quarterback, and Njoku and Gesicki. I like Fields more than Love. I like Njoku more than Gesicki. I think they're all fine, though. JT, Bijan, Penny, Singletary, Acne. I mean, pretty good running back room here. Obviously, JT and Bijan give you a ton of upside. Receivers, Olave, Mike Williams, London, Deontay, J-Mo, and Shark. Pretty good receiver room, man. I love Olave, Williams, and London right in a row. Starting Fields, starting Njoku, starting JT and Bijan, starting Olave and Williams, flexing London, and flexing Penny, or Deontay Johnson, or J-Mo. So, yeah. Got good options on the bench. Pretty good depth on this team. Good core roster. Spence, my focus on Dynasty, not redraft. That's perfectly fine, man. Perfectly fine. We will be up into Dynasty mock tomorrow, so come out, Spence. I need to see you drafted. How do you guys feel about your spots? Those of you guys in League 1, draft order has been set for our first ever Catch Fam Dynasty League. How do you guys feel? I'm okay with my spot at 1.4. But I kind of liked 1. I actually kind of like the 1.7 area, where it can potentially get a Herbert, T-Law, or Fields, and then get a earlier second-round pick. But I guess the advantage at 1.4 is I get a stud at quarterback, get a good value at 2.9, get a good value at 3.4, right? All right, what did I do tonight? Take a look at my squad. Let's see. Kyler and Geno, I'm okay with that. If I go, like, Kyler was just floating around, I need a quarterback. I'll take the upside. I know he's going to miss time, but I think Kyler's going to be just fine. I think he's going to take as much time as he needs to before he comes back. You guys know my stance on Kyler, right? But you just got to get the right quarterback behind him. I was a little bit worried. I wanted Tua, didn't get him. Wanted Watson or Rodgers, did not get them. I'm okay with Geno, though. Okay with Geno behind Kyler. I don't put a crazy amount of emphasis or value on the quarterback position in a single quarterback redraft league. I just don't. And I think if you miss on those top 4, I'm going to say the top 6 or 7 guys. Because honestly, if you get T-Law, Fields, or Herbert at the right value, like, I'm fine with it. But if you miss out on those top tier guys, I think you just keep slinging wide receivers, running backs, letting good value tight ends fall to you. And seriously, I love the idea in redraft of going after Kyler and getting a player like Tua, a player like Geno, a player like even Russell Wilson, Watson, Rodgers, maybe Jordan Love. We might want to see more out of him before we make that call. But even Kirk Cousins and Carr, like the quarterback position just always surprises us. Look at this past year: Jared Goff, Danny Dimes, Justin Fields. Guys took major steps forward, and all of those guys in most leagues went undrafted. And if they did get drafted, they were available at some point on the waiver wire. So, tight end Kyler. Kyler is my quarterback. Tight end Cole Kmet and Dawson Knox. Good at that. Eckler, Jacobs, Pierce, Dillon at the running back position. I'm good at that. Didn't go for a ton of depth here, but I'm fine with those 4 guys. I will make one note. I like Pacheco more than Dillon. I was definitely talking with you guys a ton. I even like Tyler Algier probably a hair more than A.J. Dillon. If the Falcons don't pursue another running back. But I'll make that note. Both those guys are available, especially Pacheco. I'm a huge fan of Pacheco, so... but I'm okay with Dillon still at 7.5. Debo, which was an auto pick. Like I said, I like Olave more there. And I was eyeing Pollard, but I ran out of time by accident. But I'm okay with Debo still. Debo, DJ Moore, Lockett, Lazard, Jones, Randall Robinson, KJ Osborne. Love this receiver room. So I'd be starting Geno and Kmet, Eckler and Jacobs, Debo and DJ Moore. And then in the flex, I think I'm in a really good spot here. Damon Pierce, Tyler Lockett, A.J. Dillon, Allen Lazard, Zay Jones, Randall Robinson, K.J. Osborne, even Dawson Knox. So, yeah, I like this team quite a bit. All right, let's see. A couple of you guys chatting now. We do have 2 spots open in the second Dynasty League. If you guys are interested, there is a thread on Discord. Hit me up or just DM me on Discord or Instagram and get you guys details. You have to be an active YouTube member to join the Dynasty League. So just let me know, man. Let's see. Thomas, something random. Seahawks running backs always get hurt. That's true. John Alexander, Chris Carson, Rashad Penny. Hope Kenneth Walker is good. You should not be speaking it, bro. Don't speak it into existence. All right, let's see. Okay, so that'll do it. That'll wrap things up. A great stream tonight, man. We went over a ton. I mean, a ton. I really had a lot to go over with you guys, just not being on, not being on stream for the past week. So I appreciate you guys, man. It was a great stream tonight. Lots of good topics. As things continue to come up, we'll have updates on Discord. And I will continue to go over things. And we'll have updates on Instagram as well. So if you guys are new to the channel, check out the links down below. Join our Discord. Completely free at the moment to do so. And on top of that, follow us on Instagram. All kinds of updates on Instagram. And more importantly, community updates on Instagram and Discord especially. And mock draft invites. So, yep. I missed you guys, man. I was super excited to stream tonight. I think we had a great stream. And thank you guys so much for drafting with me tonight. And tomorrow night, I'm planning on hopping into a Dynasty mock. So make sure you guys hop on. And that'll wrap it up for the night. So smash that like button on the way out. Check out the links down below. You guys know what to do, man. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Fantasy Dog, J-Dubs, Box and the Jack, Spencer, Taylor, Katz, Thomas, Nick. We had all kinds of catch fam out here. JB, Mayday, Smokey the Cat, the harshest mod of all time. Ben, Bossman, Andrea, Shane, Albert, Too Shiesty, Made for TV, Godfather, and everyone else who stopped by, everyone else who hung out. Thank you guys so much for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for spending part of your night here on the channel. Like I said, Dynasty mock tomorrow. Stay tuned on Discord for details, and that's going to wrap it up for the night. Thank you guys so much for everything. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for listening in and watching. And yeah, man, like I said, if you guys need anything, hit me up on Discord, hit me up on Instagram, and stay posted for tomorrow's invite. Will be a Dynasty mock. So with that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, ya saw it here on the catch. And